Welcome back to the Tydirium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with another video. And this time I want to talk to you about my top 5 pluses to these Little Legends guys. And I've made a video in the past. It was a rant video, and it didn't go over very well. It was supposed to be my comedic introduction to collecting these things. I fought off collecting Legends, but I guarantee you everything in this video is going to be positive because these are my 5 positive points, and so no negatives. Now, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. It's been brought to my attention that YouTube is unsubscribing people randomly for whatever reason from all different channels all over YouTube, and it happened to me with a prominent YouTuber, and I had to resubscribe to that YouTuber myself, and I don't really know why that happened. So check it out, not just for this channel either. Check it out if you are subscribed to this one or your favorites, so you don't miss the great content that everybody puts out and you're not missing the boat on anything big. Now, with that, let's get right into this. Number 5. Space. These little guys don't take up a whole lot of space. And I hear this a lot, like, oh, I don't have the space, I don't have the space for this collection. And, well, I showed this in my collection video, how this space was a full collection. And it was relatively small space for how many figures I had piled in. I didn't even count them, but there was a lot. And I think I got like 30 or 40 or 50 or something of them in that space. And it looked pretty good. So I can see why that's a huge advantage, and I really can see why I've been hearing people say space is one of the #1 reasons they like Legends figures, and I agree with that. Also, when I did put out this other video about how big is too big, the mass majority of commenters said that they don't want to see a 6-foot tall Metroplex. They'd rather have just the Hasbro Titan and put a bunch of Legends around it, and that gives you the same effect. It really does give you the effect of CityBots being true to scale. And so, space, it makes a big difference. It makes a big impact. And display-wise, you can have a very impactful display with all these guys gathered around a CityBot. You can have a very impressive display even if you just have 10 of these on one little shelf, spaced very well. And they are coming out with props or whatever you want to call them. Just you've got all these other little parts and pieces that you can use in your display pieces. That's coming from New Age, I think. Number 4. Number 4 is price. And I know you're going to say, well, Mike, now you're contradicting yourself because you said price was a negative in your rant video. But the thing is, if you just look at price alone without saying perceived value, just looking at price, for each individual character, to get that character in the Legends scale is cheaper than to get it in a Masterpiece scale. Now, I'm not talking about, like, if you look at Hound. They just came out with the McFans Toys Mechanic Studio. Hound is a great figure, and it looks good in both modes and all that. For $25-30, just depending where you get it. So let's just say $30. But if you're to try to buy, like Fans Toys Willis came out, and it was $90 when it came out. It's going for more than that now. Takara wants $160 for theirs, and then we're not even talking about the KO. But even if you did get a KO, it would probably cost you more, like $50 or $60, than the $30. So even the KO of a Masterpiece is going to cost more than the Legends figure. So looking at all of that stuff, it's priced better. And the other thing I want to say is I did mention this in the rant video though. $1,000 would probably buy you 30 to 33 around that Legends figures, but you only get you about 8 Masterpiece figures. And so if you look at just the numbers and the metrics of the price, it is priced better. You get more ultimate bang for your buck with the Legends, and I will admit that is definitely a positive. That's number 4. Number 3. Number 3 I want to talk about is the ease of transformation. And one thing about the ease of transformation is that they are simple, and I've seen in the comments that people seem to agree that we give them a pass. We give Legends figures a pass because they are smaller. They're not going to be as intricate as a full-size Masterpiece. Some of them actually are pretty intricate. I think that Megatron is a relatively intricate transformation for being so small. Not that it's super complex overall. It's just the fact that it's so small. There's a lot more moving parts to that thing than I thought there'd be. But with that, they look good, and they look so good in both modes, and flipping them back and forth isn't a nightmare. I don't know. I haven't come across any of them that I thought was just an end of the world nightmare, and most of them, it blows my mind how simple they are, which I kind of wish MPs were getting closer to that simple, but then again, that's a whole different topic for another day. So ease of transformation, and they're fun to flip back and forth, and I gotta say that's what a lot of people tell me. They say, well, I like to flip them back and forth. I even carry them with me in the glove box, so I can flip them back and forth. They say that they have a couple in their desk at work, so they can flip them back and forth. And it also is kind of therapeutic. The whole get your mind off of your problems. Think about flipping this thing back and forth, real simple. But yeah, ease of transformation is my number 3, and it is definitely a good point. Number 2. My number 2 point is readily available. Like, these things are easy to get your hands on. They're very available. One of the biggest complaints about Masterpiece collecting is that there's characters you just can't get your hands on that have been made. And I'm not even going to argue that the whole, like, the characters haven't been made yet thing. So we're not going to talk about that, because Legends are really, really new to the game. So if there's not a character out there, like, they don't have a representation you are happy with, just wait a month, because they're coming out left and right. They're coming out left and right. Even the older ones, there's ways to get the older ones for a reasonable price that you've missed the run on, and they get reissued. So all of that's great. But the more exciting part is we've got new ones coming out, like Astro Train's on his way, which, by the way, Astro Train, we still don't have in my opinion, a good representation in the MP line. And then we just got our Hound, which is great. We've got lots of different ones on the way. And with that, you also have the competition. And a lot of people think that's a negative, but I like the competition because you got options. Like, if you want to go extreme small or if you want to go extreme big, and I was able to work through the shark infested waters and get a collection. I'm very happy with my scale, and I'm very happy with the assortment of figures that I have, and I'm very excited for the handful that I'm still going to get in the future. So the availability of these things it's a great. It's less troubling and taxing than trying to get the best of the best collection for a Masterpiece collection. So I can see that, and I can understand that, and I definitely can appreciate that, especially for new collectors just getting into it. I can see how they're happy to get a nice collection of figures that's all going to look good on a shelf, and you're not sitting here wondering, am I going to drop $600 on this one obscure figure that came out and was originally released for $90? These things look ultimate G1. Yeah, I know. Comments are going to be, Mike, you're too G1. All you do is talk about G1. And you're right. When I veer too far out of G1, people hate what I have to say about it. They say I'm wrong. But I did look at my statistics of my viewers, and of the people who are signed in, which is the only way you can really tell, the majority of them like G1. And how do I know that? Because I reply to every comment. And almost 70% of those comments are structured around a discussion of G1 characters, or they liking the G1's designs. So with all of that, that's a belief of mine that the majority of the viewers like the G1. Now, I do know Iron Factory has its own stylized look, and I think that's great. Like, you've got the G1, and you got people who want something stylized. You've got two different pockets you can work in. And what I'm finding is some of the stylized stuff that Iron Factory put out can actually mix in well. So, like Bruticus looks great. I mean, I don't have a problem with the Bruticus. I don't think we even need another Bruticus made in the Legends line. I'm happy with it. So that ultimate G1 look in both modes and nailing a G1 look in both modes is outstanding. And it gives you kind of that feel, that tune vibe, and that excitement from back in the day. It feels good. And I'm looking at these things and I'm thinking, man, these things look that great. They look awesome. And then, some people are like, well, you know what? For the price, I might as well buy Siege. But in the end, Siege still isn't giving you the tune alt modes because they're trying to be Cybertronian. That's a thing. That's just a thing. You got to weigh your options there. But I love the G1 look of these guys. So anyway, I want to know from you guys, of these 5 points, which one do you think was the most important? Which one would you place of my 5 points on your top? Are there any other major points why you collect Legends that I didn't discuss? I want to see that down there in the comments, and like and subscribe. Siberian Manger out.